Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. This is my last Sunday down here in the Caribbean. This coming Saturday, I will be back in New York. I leave here Friday. So I'll be down at the farm Saturday morning, unless I have some kind of jet lag or climate change in my body, because down here it's beautiful, 80 degrees. Up there I know it's cold, so I may need a day or two to readjust. But I wanted to talk to you today about some interesting things that relate to the farm. And one of them is my Italian seeds. So I purchase a lot of my seeds from Italy. And when you purchase something from Italy, it's usually stamped, depending on the level of, one moment. Hi Alyssa, how are you? It's usually stamped depending on the level of the degree of quality. So you can buy some cheap stuff in Italy that isn't very high quality, and they don't stamp that. But things that are of higher quality, they do stamp. For example, when you buy San Marzano tomatoes. Now there's a big scam about San Marzano tomatoes. A lot of them are hybrids coming from California, and they're calling them, hello James, they're calling them Super Marzanos because it's a hybrid. And then there's San Marzanos being grown in the soil of Turkey, which are extremely cheap for the Italians to buy because it's €1 to 25 euro. €1 to 25 lira. And Turkey has a currency called lira. Do you remember the old Italian currency? It's called lira also. So anyway, they can buy a lot of these San Marzano tomatoes grown in Turkey and then ship them out. But when you buy things that are grown in Italy, they are stamped. For example, San Marzano tomatoes grown in Italy in the Naples area that are grown in the soil of Mount Vesuvius or close, they're stamped with a DOP stamp. So next time you're in the supermarket or an Italian pork store, look for that stamp. It's DOP. And what it means is that two things. It means they guarantee origin. So if it says DOP, it's very, very, very likely that it is grown in that area. And the other part of it, hello Jackie, how are you? The other part of the DOP stamp of any stamp means quality control. It means that they have grown these things or made these things under the compliance of the Italian federal government. So the Italians are very strict about their food, their exports in general, because there's a lot of imposters. So their Italian olive oil, look for that stamp. Now the stamp on wines. So if let's say you buy Chianti, Chianti will have a DOC or a DOCG ribbon or stamp on it. In the old days, they had a little pink ribbon over the Chianti that was sold in a wicker basket. Remember those? That was fun. So all that means is, again, two things. Guaranteed origin. So Chianti means it comes from that region in Tuscany. I believe it's Tuscany. I'm almost 99% certain that it is. Hello, Thomas, that it is from Tuscany, that you buy real Chianti with the stamp, with the ribbon. So it has the ribbon. It's from that area of Tuscany. And I've been speaking Spanish so much, it just pops out. And that they have complied with the rules and regulations of the federal Italian government. So that's what that stamp means. So when I buy seeds, San Marzano's seeds especially, they are stamped with the DOP stamp. So when you buy San Marzano's tomatoes from me, you are guaranteed that you are getting the seeds that were grown in Italy. So it's the real thing. Now there's many farms these days that are growing San Marzano tomatoes because they're so popular, they're just so much better. But none of the varieties, the hybrids and varieties of different areas, are as good as the San Marzano seeds, tomatoes, from the Strionese Naples area, grown in the soil of Mount Vesuvio. So you got to watch out for that too. Hello, Thomas. How are you? Hello, Marianne. You have to watch out for that too, because there's a lot of scams going on out there with many Italian products. So you buy a can of San Marzano tomatoes in the supermarket, and it doesn't say San Marzano, it says La Marzano. Or it says San Marzano and in small print style. So you got to be careful. You see the DOP stamp, which is no longer a real stamp. Now they've made it into the label, but it's a circle. So look for that circle that says DOP, and you're guaranteed you have the original product. And that's the product you get when you buy my produce. And many of my grocery items too are stamped whenever is possible. Now, you know, sometimes it's very difficult to get items, especially, you folks know that I always try to have imported olive oil from Italy or from at least the Mediterranean. So last year we had olive oil from Italy, and we had it from Tunisia, which is North Africa, which is also an excellent growing area for olives. And it was awesome. Those of you that bought it know how delicious it actually was. So you just got to watch out for that. But it's guaranteed when you come to my place that everything is going to be authentic, or if it's not 100% authentic, you're going to know about it. I'm going to tell you about it. All you have to do is ask. Now, there's been many times over the past years, because we've been there now, is it 17 years? It might even be 18 years. I have to look. We've been there a long time. There's been many situations over time where people have said, "Hey, Mike, could you sell this product on your farm stand? It's all the ingredients except for 4 ingredients in it, or 2 ingredients or what have you, are organic, and the remaining ingredients are not organic." And sometimes they're friends of mine, and I have to say to them, no, it's either organic or it's not organic. Not 98%, not 99%, it's got to be 100%. Hello, Ann, how are you? So that's the way things work at the farm. So, my whole premise there is giving you quality food that you can trust, and also trying to educate you wherever I possibly can. If you need the education, if you already know, that's fine. That's even better. It makes it easier. So we'll be opening the farm unofficially, opening next week, not this coming week, but the week after, and we'll be open for meat orders. So I'm going to shoot out a text to everybody, and we'll get things going. We'll get started. We'll get things underway. So spring is approaching, guys. When I do these lives, when I tell you we're about to open, you know that spring is right around the corner. So I'm pretty excited about that. Also, I wanted to talk to you about processed foods. Now, this whole thing with Trump's cabinet, with RFK, and listen, I'm not political at all, not even one bit political, but I do love the fact that they want to make the country healthy again. You guys already know that. You already know everything that he's probably going to do because you come to the farm. And the reason you come to the farm is because you know that the food at the farm is healthy. It's not processed, it's not garbage. So you guys already know that stuff. But I'm so happy that RFK wants to at least attempt to make food healthy, to make the country healthy again. Who would argue something like that? That's what we've been doing for almost 20 years down at that location at OT Farm, Organics Today Farm. So, so I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, the other thing I want to talk to you about is that local place, that local restaurant. I hope it's still open. It's in Islip Village. It's right across the street from the old hardware store. Was it Ace? No, it wasn't Ace. Don't remember, but it was an old hardware store right across the street. It's called Yankee Doodle Dandy. I know I in one of my posts not too long ago, I was talking about how he was having some difficult times, and I asked anybody who listened to my my lives here to go down and do some business. I'm very excited when I get back there to give them some business too, and then to promote them more if I can. Listen, guys, we got to stay together with these local businesses. We got to keep them going because that's our town. That's it's Islip, and it's tough in Islip, in East Islip, and the surrounding areas. You got to have deep pockets. I was there for a couple of years before I got customers. I remember my first year I made zero. My second year, I made a profit of $7,000. Jesus, you can't do anything with that. But that was a long time ago, and we're just not looking back. We are looking back just to remember how tough it was. And it's tough in the Islip area. You got to have deep pockets. So if you can, shoot down there and give them a little support. Okay, so I still have some CSA memberships available. If you're not aware of the CSA program that I have, just go to my website, organicstodayfarms.com. If you can't remember that, just Google Farm East Islip. My Google page will come up, and click on website. And then you can navigate through the whole website. It tells you everything about all the programs that I have. What people tell me about the CSA program is that I give more than any other program that they had participated in. Now, I don't know this to be a fact. I'm just going by what they're saying to me. Because it's not my premise to do better than any farm, to give, to make another farm look bad. That's not what I'm about. What I'm about with my boxes is to feed you. I don't want you to sample what I grow. I want to feed your family. So maybe that's why they say my boxes are like double the size. But anyway, I have CSA programs available. That's also on the website, organicstodayfarms.com. Navigate through there and just click on CSA program, Community Supported Agriculture. So if you're interested in that, definitely come on down. Yes, it is. I prefer it to be paid in cash, but if you can't do it in cash, when I get back, I can send you a money request, or we could do something. I prefer one payment. If you can't swing that, I could do two, but I can't do more than two, and both payments have to be made in a really timely fashion. Okay, so that's the CSA program, and it's awesome. You get fresh picked food, and I do every single box, and I only have 100 members. Actually, this year I'm going to be doing less than 100 members because I want to expand the volunteer program. The volunteers get the same thing, the same boxes as the CSA members get that pay for them. The volunteers actually get it for a few more weeks too. And I put together every single box, so I'm not going to give you something you don't like. Never. And it's a good program. I put it together. I make sure everything in there is as high quality as I can possibly give to you. So that's the CSA program. Go to the website, click on CSA, and it'll tell you what the prices are. Now there's two different prices I can tell you right now. $700 for the non-volunteer, non-work program, and $650 for the work program. $650, you give me 50 hours. 50 hours of work time. Good morning, Andrew. How are you today, my friend? You give me 50 hours of work time, and you will get a $50 reduction. I know it doesn't seem like much, but there's a lot of people out there that want to learn how to grow. Top of the morning, senor. Yes, sir. Yeah, so that's what the CSA program is. Now, the volunteer, and as I said, we're going to be doing less than 100 this year so I can expand the amount of volunteers we have. Now, let me tell you quickly about the volunteer program. It's pretty easy. You give me 6 hours a week, and in return, starting in May, sometime in May, depending on weather, you get a big box full of fresh picked produce. But I also source from other farms too when I start to run low on things. So you'll be getting stuff from me, and you're getting stuff from other farms too. But the majority of it will be what we grow. And if you're a volunteer, it's what you grow. So you're actually going to start the seed, you're going to plant the plant, You're going to harvest the plant, and you're going to eat the food. So it's a pretty cool situation when you're a volunteer, or even if you do the work for food promotion for the CSA membership, you get $50 off. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good time, and it's pretty much fun. But it's 6 hours per week. Now I understand that people have lives. They got to skip a weekend or two during the season. That's fine. But let me tell you guys, at the end of the season, you will be a master grower, because you will have learned everything that I do. And it's complex, man. We do a lot of shit there, a lot of different things. It's not just put the seed, it's not just put the seed in the ground and let it grow. I had a customer come many years ago, and he said, $3 for a bunch of kale, for a bunch of leaves, and all you got to do is put the seed in the ground and let it grow. So really? But that's okay. Molto vino, come stai? I hope everything's going well for you, my friend. Long time. I hope you make a visit down to the farm. I'm looking for olive oil. I know you have some good Italian connections. Yeah, we need to get together and talk a little bit. I'm going to make a note right now to message you later. I hope you're still in the area. Anyway, it's good to see you here, and we'll talk. I'll shoot you a message later on. Or you can message me, or you could text me too, which would be better. And if anybody wants to text me, my phone number is 631-480-6497. That's the best way to get a hold of me, is through that number. And if you want to get put on the mass text list where you get updates once a week, 631-480-6497. Also, if you want to join my YouTube page for some interesting stuff that I post there, one really interesting video is from a bunch of years ago, and it's called The Birds. I don't want to tell you much about it, but if you go to my YouTube page, you'll see it. And there's a lot of other things too that I post. And I will be posting more this year. I'll be doing more lives and more cooking demos and more lives on YouTube as well. So my YouTube page is Organics Today, and it's at MICHAMSS. That's MICHAMSS, Organics Today. I probably should have done that differently, made it easier, but this is many years ago when I put that YouTube page together, so it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, so everything I post on Facebook, I import into YouTube. So not only do you see the interesting posts that I put up, you also see these lives. And Moltovino, I want to tell you, the other day, if you're still here, I was watching, hello Candace, on Instagram. They had this guy in a cherry picker going up the side of an apartment building, and it said Italian hospitality, and a woman is out on her balcony with coffee for the window washer, the guy in the cherry picker. It's pretty funny. You got to see it. It's on Instagram. Hello, Jean. How are you? How's it going? Hi, Angela. How are you today? So anyway, that's the CSA program and the volunteer program. If you have any questions about the volunteer program, just shoot me a text. For some of you that just arrived, my phone number is 631-480-6497. And for some of you that have just arrived, hello Sharon. We have a couple of CSA memberships remaining. If you want to get involved in that, you can go to my website, organicstodayfarms.com, click on CSA, and you can get all the information about it. It's a great program. And also the volunteer program, I'm looking to expand this year, get as many as possible, because I want to do a lot of good stuff this year. We are increasing our berry production too. Before I left this year, this last season, we planted a lot more blackberry bushes. So I'm hopeful that we'll get a good crop of blackberries this year. So stay tuned for that. And that'll be in around August, September, maybe even July. I'm not sure. I don't remember from last year. But definitely August and September for sure. And then hopefully, I don't know if it's been a super cold season down there, but I hope my fig production increases too this year. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, so I want to talk to you briefly about processed foods. I hit on that for a minute when I was talking about my seeds and the stamps. So whenever you get a stamp from an Italian product that's exported, the stamp says two things. And I'm just reiterating this for folks that just arrived. The stamp says that you complied, that the farmer has complied, or the vineyard has complied with the rules and regulations of the Italian government, and guarantees, hello Sue, and guarantees the origin. So wherever they say it's from, it's from. If it's Chianti, yes, it's from Tuscany. If it's San Marzanos, yes, it's from the Strianese Naples area of Italy. So that's what that stamp does. And I'm seeing Sue, and I'm just realizing that I'm pretty sure I still have some honey available. When I get back, I'll have to check it. But Sue, I know you like my honey. 95% sure that next week when I arrive, we will have honey on the farm stand. And next week we're not officially open. We're not officially open until March 20th. But I will be at the farm almost every day and working in the greenhouse, getting all the stuff started with a crew. So there's a good chance you come there between like 10 and 2 or 10 and 3. There's a good chance I'll be there and just walk back to the greenhouse because the farm stand won't actually be open for business. It'll be open, the doors will be open, we'll be airing it out, but it's not really going to be open for business unless we're doing meat orders. When we're doing meat order pickups, the farm stand will be open for business, and the limited items that we have will be there for sale. Like soaps and, oh geez, that reminds me, I got to contact Amy to get some soaps. Amy, I hope you see this. I need soap for next week. Amy is pretty cool. She makes soaps in her house. Now she wants to be able to, this is her whole idea, which is pretty smart. She wanted to be able to make high quality organic soap, but make it for close to nothing. So what she does is she makes a lot of it, sells it to me at wholesale prices. Her wholesale prices pay for her soap, and she makes a little money on it too, and she gets free soap for her family. So pretty smart idea. So we'll be having, I hope we'll be having some herb soap this season. When we closed up, I only had a couple of bars of her soap left, so I'm going to have to contact her, and let me make a note of that. Yeah. Okay. All right, and folks, hello Evelyn, how are you? So folks, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me through my cell phone. That's the best way to contact me. It's 631-480-6497. Sì, buongiorno, come stai? It's good to see you. Entonces, now I'm speaking Spanish again. For 3 months that I'm down here in Colombia, I speak nothing but Spanish. This is the first day I'm speaking English. When I do these lives, I speak English. But every other time, when I'm out, last night I went out. That was fun. It's all Spanish. So it's good practice. I'm not 100% fluent, but I get by pretty good. People understand me. I understand them. And it's funny. We joke around with how bad my Spanish is, but they understand what I'm saying. For example, I posted on my WhatsApp page, I got these arepas last night that were this big, and they stuff them with cheese. So I wrote arepas con queso, and I wrote queso C-A-S-O. So many of my friends down here text me and says, no, Mike, it's not C-A-S-O, it's Q-U-E-S-O. And of course, I should have known better, but anyway. Good. Va tutto bene. Mi allegro mucho. Molto. Entonces, yeah, so that's what we have going on. So back to the processed foods. So, it's pretty interesting being my age because I was able to witness practically the birth of processed foods. Tang is the first thing that comes to mind. So what happened there, and Tang changed everything. Because when I was a little boy, the astronauts were trying to get to the moon, and they were drinking freeze-dried Tang. So they'd get up in space, add water to this stuff, and they had Tang. They had orange juice, fresh orange juice, made from Tang. And of course, everybody down here on Earth, the whole planet said, well, geez, if Tang is good for the astronauts, it's got to be good for everybody. So that kind of launched processed foods, freeze-dried, all this kind of stuff. And then corporations took it to another level, and there wasn't much regulation on the foods, and then they started putting garbage in it. And man, you look at the ingredients in Fruit Loops, man, I don't even know what's in that. I don't even think there's any real fruit. Hello, Renee, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. So, excuse me. So anyway, that's what I was able to witness, and just slowly every year there were more and more processed foods, and just started making us all sicker and sicker. And now we're at a crossroads where the government wants to make us healthy, which is such an awesome idea. Now I want to remind everybody I'm not political here, but I'm all about health. I'm all about eating healthy, growing healthy, being healthy. That's pretty much why 18 years ago I started the farm. I wanted the community to have a place to get healthy organic food at the lowest prices I could possibly give. Plus, I love growing stuff. It's so exciting to me. It's so exciting to me every year to start over again. Let's move this over here. You have to rotate your crops. It's just real interesting that you get to move stuff around and do things differently every year. And this year we've got quite a few changes. Broccoli Rob is a little tough to grow on Long Island. I got a little indigestion from last night eating those arepas with queso, with cheese. And I guess, the couple of shots of bourbon didn't help either. I never drink when I'm in, when I'm back in New York, but I've been known to have a drink or two down here. I'm not a big drinker, but I do enjoy bourbon. It's got delicious flavor. It's probably, for me, it has more flavor than any other alcohol out there, any other hard liquor out there. And the interesting thing about bourbon, I'm just going to get on the sidebar, and we'll talk about this more on another live. We'll go more in depth, but to be a real bourbon, you need to be two things. You need to have all the products, and you have to make it and use all the products from Bourbon County, Kentucky. And the other thing is, when you store it, oh, is that right? Okay. And we'll get back to the broccoli ramen in a second. I'm getting bounced around here in my head. So, and the other thing is that you need to store it in a brand new oak barrel that has been charred, burnt inside. When you char oak barrels, it creates caramelization, and it sweetens up the liquor. So the bourbon comes out clear, crystal clear. All whiskeys, all alcohol, when it's made, it is what's the word? Can't think of it now. But when it's made, it comes out clear. And then depending on how you store it and what you store it in, what you do with it, it changes the color. Hello, Rebecca. Hi, Deborah. Hello, Diane. How are you? Diana, how's it going? Diana. Okay, so once it's in that bourbon barrel that's been charred, it starts to pull in the caramelization flavor into the bourbon, changes the color, And then one of the flavors that I noticed that when I sip on bourbon, and you shouldn't shoot it down, I sip on it for flavor. I'm good, thank you, I'm very good. Getting ready to wind down my vacation and come back and get to work. It has a taste of vanilla, which is amazing. It has the burn, once you get it in you. It has that typical whiskey burn, but it is, for me, it's delicious. And that's what makes it bourbon, those two things. And by the way, going back into history, if you think the Boston Tea Party was about tea, it was about booze. That's why bourbons and the American whiskeys was started to make them here at that time. Because they were getting taxed like crazy on whiskey, on scotch. And they didn't like that much. You all know your American history. Taxation without representation. Name of bourbon. My favorite bourbon, Evelyn, is Woodford Reserve. That is super delicious. If Woodford Reserve is not available, then Maker's Mark. But I don't like Basil Hayden. I like stuff that's really vanilla, rich, smoky flavor. So if you like that too, try those two, Woodford Reserve or Maker's Mark. Those are my two favorites. Not everybody carries them. Denoy, over in Islip, he carries them. George carries them over there. And a couple other places here and there, but many places do not have it. And that's definitely my favorite bourbon. Speaking of Denoy, speaking of restaurants, for those of you that just arrived, try to give, if you can, try to give a little bit of support to that restaurant, Yankee Doodle Dandy in Islip Village, across from the old hardware store, across from Starbucks, kind of. Because they were going through some tough times. When I left, they were going through some tough times, and maybe we can help them stay around because they're good people over there. They do their best. So that's Yankee Doodle Dandy right in Islip Village. Hello, Sal. How's it going? Sal, any news on my tractor, my friend? I know it's been cold, a little bit tough to work on stuff in the cold. Maybe there was a warm spell and it's finished. And by the way, Sal, I got another tractor too. I got a 1, 2, 3, I have 4 tractors now. The one old yellow one that you know that just doesn't work, it's all torn apart. I got the one that you have at your house that you're working on. I got the one that's only running on 3 cylinders but still running. And now I have, Mark gave me a tractor that I sold to him. He gave it back to me because he's got to get rid of some stuff in his property. Yeah, I know it's cold, Sal. Yeah, Sal, when we were both a lot younger, we'd be working in the cold. Not these days. I just spent 3 months in the warm. I'm coming back this weekend, but I do hope the tractor gets done pretty soon because I am going to need it. I did want to use it for March, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, yeah, so that's the thing. And Sal, by the way, will tell you all about the Italian products and their stamps and the DOP stamps and all that because Sal is from Italy. Yes, thank you, Evelyn. That's very, very kind of you. And Sal, like I said, Sal's from Italy. He knows all about this stuff. Nice, you keep busy. Yeah, I'm trying to keep busy. Trying to. You know, I eat breakfast every morning around 9 because I wake up at like 8, which is totally different. Usually I'm up at 4 when I'm working. And then I walk down to the beach. I rent what they call carpas. And I sit there and fall asleep because it's so relaxing. I'll go for a swim. And I'll sit back down and fall asleep again. It's tough. It's a tough day. And then I'll come back around 3 o'clock, take a nap for 2 or 3 hours, and then go out to dinner. So yeah, I'm keeping very busy. But on Sundays, I work. So I'm preparing right now all my stuff for... Oh, okay. Hey, I got stuff. Here's the thing, Sal. I don't trust anybody else. Hello, Sherry. Hey, Joe. I trust Joe. I trust Sherry. But to work on my tractors, my cars, I don't trust anyone else. I want to tell you real quickly, and don't want this live to be endless. I went to a local mechanic when I had a problem with the pickup truck. And Sal is amazing because I should have called you first, Sal. So what I did is I went to this local gas station, service station, because the truck, as I was driving it, was bouncing like that. And he put it up on the lift and he looked at the drivetrain. He says, "Oh, geez. Yeah, Mike, we're going to have to replace this whole $1,000." I was like, shit. And then his worker, who didn't know anything, while I was on the lift, he said, "Hey, boss, look at this bubble in the tire." Obviously. "Oh, I'm so sorry, Sal. Oh, man, that was a beautiful, beautiful dog." It was a, what do they call that? The dogs with the blue eyes and the brown eyes? I'm very sorry about that, my friend. So, anyway, geez, I don't even remember what I was saying now. That's sad. Very sorry about that, Sal. But it's life, right? That's why I don't have pets, because you end up losing them. And yeah, that's just not for me anymore. Yeah, so the mechanic. The mechanic turns and says, "Oh yeah, the bubble in the tire is doing that, making your truck like that. But you still need to replace this." I was like, you know what, just replace the tire. But it happened to me once before. I was down in Georgia. All of a sudden, my car is driving down the road like that. I call Sal at like 2 in the morning. I say, "Sal, what's wrong with my car? I'm in the middle of Georgia. There's no lights around here. I don't want to get end up in American Pie." So Alaska Husky, yes, that's what it is, a Husky. And Sal turned around and said, "Well, you like to buy used tires because you're cheap. It's probably you got a bubble in the tire." And he was right. Change the tire, there's no problem. So it happened to me 2 times. Hello, Maria, how are you? Maria Angela. Okay, so anyway, that was a local guy that I tried to give local business to, and he was just ready to rip me off. Anyway, his place is closed now, and I understand why. I'm not going to mention who it was, because his place is closed. Yeah, so you still got to be careful, but I guarantee you that's not going to happen when you come to my place. If you don't need a drivetrain, I'm not going to tell you need one. But anyway, so, boy, did I get off the track, didn't I? I'm trying to make these lives not endless. So, the meat program, we can start ordering when I get back. Hello, Samantha, how are you? We can start ordering the meat and poultry when I get back. Meat, poultry, fish. Hopefully the fish is available. We'll have to see. This fish company, it's called Fortune Fish. They are so freaking responsible. Hi, Veronica. They are so responsible. When they reach their quota, they actually stop fishing. If this was the Pacific Rim, they don't believe in quotas. They just want to fish everything out. And what's happened in the Pacific Rim, I've been reading, is that now the squid, the calamari, is getting giant size because they fished out all the predators. I don't know if it's true. That's something I read on the internet. Of course, everything's true that you read on the internet, but that's sarcasm, by the way. Hello, Kimberly. How are you? Kimberly Nicoletti. Yeah, so that's what that's about. So let me move on because I don't want this live to be endless. So the meat program, we're going to be ordering the week when I get back. So not this week, it'll be next week. I'll shoot out a mass text. If you want to be on that mass text, shoot me a text as soon as you can. Today is fine, 631-480-6497. And I'll get you in the mass text. You'll get an update every week. And you'll be able to order through that when you get that mass text. And the mass text is not a group. It's a group, but it's not a group where everyone sees what you respond. I shoot out the text, it gets to everybody, your response is, I'm the only one to see your response. So I hate those groups where you say one thing and everybody sees it. It's not that way. So if you want to get on that mass text, the texts go out every Tuesday. They'll probably be going out, hello Bernadette, probably going out a little bit earlier, but you can get on that mass text and you will get updates, you'll get reminders to order your meat and poultry, fish, pork, etc. We're going to be trying to get milk too as soon as possible. And I do need to order the Parma butter and the Amish butter too. So we're going to have that. You know, these things are going to take a little bit of time to get back in. We officially opened the farm stand on the 20th, but I'm going to be there every day. So if you need something like honey, etc., come on down. I should have it. And we'll get going. And I hope to have the place completely stocked by March 20th, first day of spring. I'm concerned about the olive oil. I'm also concerned about eggs, and that reminds me, anybody, I'm trying to keep the price of chicken eggs down at the farm. So anyone that raises chickens in their backyard, if you have excess eggs, I will buy all of them from you, all of your excess eggs. Listen, if you're selling on the corner and you're selling for a certain price, absolutely, go ahead and do that. But if you have excess eggs, I will buy them all from you, bring them back to where I am, my place, and I'm going to sell them, and I'm going to try to keep the price as low as possible. So that's the whole premise with excess eggs. Eggs that you might end up cooking that you're sick of or giving away free, let me buy them from you. Let me resell them at the lowest price possible. I know eggs are high right now. I'm going to do my best on that. We'll see what happens though. Okay, so, and if you don't have chickens, get some. If you want chickens in your backyard, for years and years, I will buy them from you. Excuse me. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, so, chicken raisers. Bernadette, get some chickens. Kimberly, get some chickens. Veronica. If you guys want to get chickens and you want to make a little bit of money and have your own eggs for free, do that. I'll buy your excess. All right, guys. So, YouTube, my YouTube channel, I just want to remind you that you can go on my YouTube channel and there's some pretty cool stuff. I always put these lives on my YouTube channel after I'm done, and I also post some pretty interesting videos. If you want to see a really interesting video on my YouTube channel, go to the one of the first or second videos that I put in. It's called The Birds, and it's an interesting video. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. And my YouTube page is Organics Today, and to find it, it's at MICHAMSS. MICHAMSS. Organics Today, and you'll be able to see the website, the YouTube page. Pretty cool stuff there. And again, my phone number, if you want to get on the text list or you need to ask me any questions, 631-480-6497. All right, great to see all of you today. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next Sunday. I'm going to try to do a live every Sunday. We'll get it on a kind of a schedule. All right, guys, thanks. Have a great week. Stay warm.